So, Luke, I am super excited to crack open this new segment. It's called Compliments.
Oh, that sounds friendly.
It is friendly. We are very friendly here at the VC Podcast.
Really friendly.
We are so friendly.
Under the table.
We are friendly to everyone under the table. This is a segment where essentially we're just going to take somebody from real life recently, the last week or so, and somebody who might have made an impact on you, and we're going to give them a compliment, and then we're going to talk about the repercussions of what that person did. I
like it.
This is a fun way of just exploring how to make the world a better place and shouting out folks who deserve it. So I will do our maiden voyage here into compliments. I'm going to shout out a guy named Billy B. Billy was introduced to me by another mutual friend. They are in business together, and Billy was somebody who's willing to just hang out, talk on a Zoom, and share about his life. Billy's pretty accomplished. He's done a lot of things. He's been in different businesses like robotics, and he's built a restaurant. He said he had a surf shop. So he's just an entrepreneur.
He built, like, this man is a man of many talents. He built a restaurant.
I don't think it was with his own hands, but he went out and started a restaurant. Oh, okay. And so he's just worn many different hats and wealth of experience. And the coolest thing was, one, compliment and thankful that he was willing to spend time and just chat about his life and be encouraging. But also he imparted some world philosophy, some life lessons to live by. He said he's in the business of friendship. Oh. Though he's been an entrepreneur for many years, that's his number one business. And talking to him for about 2 hours, it was very apparent that he was really committed to this idea, and that he thinks that most success in life comes from building true relationships with other people. And for me, it was a really cool reminder to invest on the human level first, so that maybe the collaboration will happen next. It really clicked. You know, sometimes you hear a lesson or you see a meme on Instagram and you just scroll right past it. Yeah. But when somebody's telling you, this is how I lived my life and it's done all this good stuff for me, it kind of hits you right in the face. So I felt convicted, just to really make sure that every time I interact with somebody, it's trying to do it first on a human level. He told me this really cool story about a woman apparently he met at like a pretty big shindig. He lives in Texas, and there's a lot of high rollers there, and
everything's big in Texas.
Everything's big in Texas, including the egos, apparently, because he walked up to somebody new and said, "My name's Billy. I know who you are, and I'd like to just introduce myself." And apparently the first words out of her mouth was, "I don't have any more time for any new friends." Exactly.
What?
And I give him a lot of credit, because I think Billy is also really cool with himself, which I think is the first step you have to do to make good friends. And he goes, "Well, I feel very sorry for you." And I was just like, that's brilliant. Yeah. That's brilliant. It's not a burn. It's not like he's cutting her off at the knees. He's just like, "I feel sorry for you." And that goes right into his philosophy of just always making sure. And, another thing he said was, you never know when you're going to meet your best friend in life. And that really hit me. Where a lot of people just think, oh, it's my high school buddy or my college buddy. Thankfully, we all met at that time and we're still friends.
He's saying we're replaceable, DJ Edward 40.
Yeah, that's just a matter of time.
This is just a small warning, hint.
Shots fired.
So, I thought those two things really resonated with me. And then just a couple other things. Being into friendship for no greater purpose than to be friends. That's kind of what I took away from that. And then the other thing was, he kind of reminded me how great it can be to show somebody signs of like physical respect. Like we talked about when you're sitting at a dinner table with some colleagues or friends and somebody knows somebody else and they come over, that if you stand up and kind of greet them with that physicality of standing up, getting up out of your chair, shaking their hand, looking them in the eye, instead of just sitting there and letting someone kind of awkwardly come over to you and feel like an imposer. So I want to give Billy a compliment for living it and walking the walk, and sharing that with me. So that happened.
What he's saying is, don't impose on other people eating.
Yeah, don't walk over to take.
Get very defensive over my food and just start growling at you. It's like a dog that's that was out in the wild. No, he sounds like a nice guy. He figured things out. Like maybe if you ask him, or I don't know what your 2-hour conversation was, but I'm sure he's a good idea, and he sounds fulfilled in a way. Like he found out a key of life. Not all of them, but like
Sure.
The basis of life is the people around you. You know, you can isolate yourself, and you could be happy that way, but the true beauty of life is probably in the connections that we make.
Yeah, I would say that's it. And I think what you were saying is cool about it's one of the keys. I've been looking at stuff like this as like pillars. There are certain character traits that are pillars to a good life. And I think treating everybody like a potential friend is kind of a really cool way of looking at that. Because you're never making assumptions. You're never assuming that somebody is not going to want to talk to you. Obviously, he went up to that woman and she kind of like rebuffed him. And again, like he didn't go, he wasn't harsh on her, but he told her what he really believed, which is anybody who feels like they don't have enough time for new friends is really just limiting their own ability to move on to other people.
Yeah, that's almost something like if you do say that to someone, like if I came up to you and you said and I was like, hey, I just want to introduce myself, and you were like, I don't have time for friends, I'd be like, okay. Like,
yeah.
See you later. That's someone that I wouldn't want to be involved with,
Sure.
anyways.
Like, what is your assumption of friends? Like, what?
Yeah.
No, I need to sit down with you for 3 hours right now. Like,
yeah,
you're that busy, not to say, oh, hello, like,
Yeah,
hi.
well, that gets down into the psychology of it, that you're looking at every friend as like a business transaction of like, I have to invest in this. I have to give something. Where Billy doesn't know me, and somebody's saying, hey, you should talk to my friend Nick. And he goes, yeah, and let's talk. And he pursued that conversation. It wasn't like I had to be, are you available? And he was like, well, here's my availability. And I'm like, what about now? And he's like, oh, can we reschedule? Like, he was very much into connecting. And I think he just believes in the dividends of investing in other people. He's willing to give it. He's willing to give his time. And clearly has been rewarded for that. So yeah, I think that was something that really clicked for me. Something that I'm going to try to do better in the upcoming weeks and months, of really investing in people first for who they are, rather than what I can either get out of them or out of the relationship.
Yeah, and that lady probably, she doesn't see friendship in that way. Like what he said is, being into friendship for no greater purpose than to be friends. So her idea of friendship, like you guys were saying, is, either it's business or all of her quote unquote friends want something from her. And she's getting torn, very thin.
Yeah.
And so that's probably how she sees friendship. She's not setting the right stage for that.
And we did get into that. Like you said, we talked a long time, Billy and I, and we did talk a little bit about that, of how you do want to make sure that the other person is putting in something too, because if you are just getting stretched thin with people who are taking from you, and they're the people looking at it as a transaction, then you're going to start losing your time, and you're going to have to be taking care of people and that sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with giving, but it's a balance. You want to make sure that it's about community rather than what can I just get out of you. So he did talk about that there were some people in his life who, who crossed the line and just kind of had to say, listen, you're not really holding up your end of the bargain. And he gives them a chance to maybe, catch up to the friendship line.
Yeah.
But other people just kind of say, well, I'm not interested in that. And then you're like, okay, well then.
Okay.
See
you later.
There's a fork in the road. Take it.
Yeah. Take it. There you go. Yogi Berra.
Yep. Yogi Berra.
In life though, sometimes. Oh, wait, we're not at that point.
Say, wow. Play the music.
No, there's an acronym for, you were saying like the pillars of life, and it stems from the word life. 1, L, love.
Nice.
I, investments. F, friendship. E, I'm making this up as I go.
Oh, wow. You have this.
And
entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
I like that. Life, what is it?
Thank you. That's the key to life, right?
Love,
investments,
friendship,
and entertainment.
I want to know if when he said that to you, he's like, I'm in the business of friendship, and you're like, oh, that's like a nice sentiment. It's like, no, seriously, here's my pamphlet. Like, you have the silver member plan, the gold member plan, the platinum member plan. My hourly rate is this.
Yeah.
To be your friend.
I did think about that. I think there was an episode, Wingman Park. right?
Wingman Park.
That we talked about. There's a park where where you can like go take your date there and then then beat up some people to make you look strong.
Yeah, but they like are in on it and they know about it. It's a great grift. Yeah.
But no, I was thinking
Wingman Park.
Yeah, paying people to be your friends basically. Like or people who are lonely, like hey, just call in to have an ear to lend, or like you need to go to a family dinner or something. Okay, I'll come along and it'll be awkward, but
that's called an escort service.
Oh, is that what they do?
They made a good Kevin Hart movie. Was the Best Man?
Right. Yeah.
The Kevin Hart movie. He plays like a best man for hire for guys who have no real friends. It's a great movie.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, no, I think you got to be. It's The Wedding Ringer. That's what it was. It's a great film. Sounds like a good business plan. Maybe Billy's starting that. But
maybe
we could all be freelancers in it.
You're just getting in on the ground level.
We're getting it on the ground level. It sounds more like a nonprofit to me, though. Like you just need people who are willing to be on the call, on the phone lines, and calling in and saying, "Hello, like I saw that you wanted to talk about your dog."
Well, nonprofits are pretty lucrative.
They can be if you play it right.
Yeah, I mean, profits they end where the money stops going into your bank account. Like, all out of profits. I had to pay myself a little extra this year. I put in a lot of work.
All out of project. Friendship.com. Go check it out.